welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm sitting down to give you our Q1 homeschooling update, and I want to thank Night Zookeeper for sponsoring today's video. I cannot believe we are already about done at the point of filming this with Q1, which is the first 9 weeks of our new homeschool year. If you are someone who regularly watches my channel, then you will know how our year has had a lot of new elements to it this year. And I am not a homeschool mom who does a lot of new every year, so that has been interesting to navigate, to say the least. I'm going to try in this Q1 update to not repeat everything that I've said in vlogs and in day in the lives, but I know not everyone watches every video, so I will touch on some things that you may have heard before, but I have a whole list of stuff right here that I want to share with you guys in this Q1 update, just for the sake of chatting about homeschool, sharing my homeschooling journey with you guys. These updates serve as a way for me to kind of fill you in on some things that are new or that we had fun with, and just kind of give you guys a glimpse into the last 9 weeks of my homeschool. So if you enjoy updates, go ahead and give me a thumbs up right now. But we are going to jump in, and I'm going to take you through some of the bullet points of Q1. I, of course, cannot touch on every single thing in Q1, but if you guys have any specific questions on anything that I talk about in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. Keeper for quite some time now, and we still love and use them in our homeschool on Fun Fridays. So every Friday, my youngest daughter is getting on there and playing on Night Zookeeper. And most recently, we took our very first break of the school year. And so my older kids had some things that they were still needing to do. She did not. So rather than her, have nothing to do and them doing something, she used Night Zookeeper during that time. So Night Zookeeper is a wonderful supplement that I use in my homeschool, and we use it for those moments. It's a great addition to language arts curriculums, especially for those younger aged kids, and it's a great reinforcement and review for those older children. If you've never heard about Night Zookeeper before, let me tell you just briefly about them. So they are an award-winning creative writing and reading platform for kids ages 5 to 12-ish, and there are tons, and I mean tons, of interactive games that really focus on writing, reading, and grammar, and then the added bonus is computer literacy and typing skills because they are on a desktop computer. I do prefer my daughter to use the desktop computer over an iPad, and if she does use the iPad, then I like her to use the typing keyboard that goes with the iPad, so that way she's getting practice using the computer. There are tons of ways that your children can earn prizes and coins as they create characters and stories and interactive worlds that come to life on the screen through story writing, and earning those coins unlocks future things for them. And it's just a really, really fun way for your kids to practice and learn all of the things that you're already teaching them in language arts. So we love Night Zookeeper, and I do have a discount link for you guys down below. There is no code. This is a discount link. It's going to get you 50% off of your subscription, and they do have multi-sibling plans, so that way you can take advantage of those savings and kind of double up on the savings with 2 kids, and then the link that's down below. So if you would like to try Night Zookeeper, I highly encourage you to click that link down below. You'll save the 50% and see what you think and what your kids think. I guarantee you they're going to be asking you to play it, and you can know that as they're playing and using some of their screen time allowance, they're actually learning and reviewing and reinforcing things that are going to be taught in their language arts curriculum, no matter what company you're using. So all the information to Night Zookeeper will be linked down below. And thank you so much, Night Zookeeper, for sponsoring today's video. All right, so I already mentioned this quite a few times in Day in the Lives, where I'm able to kind of share more real time what's going on, and I have also mentioned briefly on Instagram through some posts, that I knew going into this homeschool year was going to be a demanding year for me. Now, I don't want to say challenging because I don't feel like that's the right word, but I just knew that there were elements to our homeschool that were getting ready to change, and there were a lot of new things that we were taking on, and I knew that that was going to be a big adjustment for our family, especially being a family that has homeschooled so much all together and learning together and doing things together. I knew that having these life-changing things in our homeschool was going to have a trickle effect, so to speak, to where it wasn't just like my oldest daughter that this was going to be changing things for. It was actually changing everything in our homeschool. And I know that that sounds probably over dramatic to some of you, but if you're a mom who has been there, who has graduated children from homeschool, you know, and if you're one of those moms, please leave a comment down below. You know that when your oldest child starts getting jobs and perhaps starts taking college classes, and not really having the time or the availability in their day to do everything the way you did it previously to those things coming into their life, you know that that is a big adjustment for your heart as a mom and for your child and the siblings, right? So I knew going into this that there were going to be a lot of demands on the front end. Anytime you change a curriculum in your homeschool, please expect there to be a few weeks of an adjustment as everybody learns how to navigate the new curriculum. Now, that doesn't matter if you've got a kindergartner or you've got a 12th grader. That is true across the board. Learning the ins and outs of a new curriculum is challenging. You have to learn how things work, how it's graded, where this is, where that is, what this means, what that means, all these things, right? You have to learn how to use it. And so anytime my children have taken on something new, for example, when my kids go into the 8th grade, that's when I start having them take BJU, Bob Jones University, or BJU Press homeschool science courses, because they're incredible and my kids are all really fascinated with science, and I want them to have those courses taught in a really excellent way. Not to say that I couldn't do it, but they just do a really great job. So in my homeschool 8th grade, that's when we start that. And I've already taken 2 other kids through that. And so I knew with my third, him taking on his very first BJU course was going to be an adjustment. And it was. Add to that, my oldest daughter is officially a college student now, and she was taking her very first college English course. She took a placement exam through the university that placed her in English 105, which would be the English course that most high school graduates who were entering into college, like a typical college coursework, would enter into this. So she wasn't in like a remedial prerequisite type thing. She went right on into 105. And in that course, it's online, obviously, and it's a whole new world. Like this, I don't know what it's called. It's the portal, the website, I don't know like what we want to call that. But she had to learn how to navigate everything, like how to find the assignments, how to submit writing assignments, how to contact the professor, how to participate in the discussion with the students for her participation grade, how to submit things in a proper format, and how to use a Google Doc for an APA style college essay. Like all these things Well, those first few weeks, and not to mention like due dates, right? So obviously in homeschool, it's like we've always done do the next thing on the next day. So they've never really had like an outside source giving them a due date of something. So this was a new experience for everyone. Now she was wonderfully prepared and has done amazing now that, well, spoiler, she's done with the class now. It was a 7-week class, giving her 4 college credits, you guys. So I am just beaming with pride, just because I love seeing her be so successful in things. The majority of this class are actually adults going back to school, and through class introductions we were able to kind of determine that to, you know, people sharing about their lives and things. And I think it was really starting to, like, I don't know, hit her a little bit that, you know, like, wow, there's moms in here with kids. That's hard. Wow, these people are submitting their assignments at 11:30 at night. That is so hard. And so we've just had a lot of really great conversations on just like that topic with her. But anyway, she earned 4 college credits for that course. So that is a typical semester-long course where if she was in person attending this college, which is a Division I college, she would be in that class from basically August to December, but it's condensed and a little bit more intense. And so she earned 4 credits from August to the first week of October. So 4 credits in that time. So that was really exciting for her, but she had to learn how to navigate that. And naturally, your children, when they need to know how to do something, they ask you. And usually I have the answers. However, I have never gone to this college. I have never utilized this platform. So when she was coming to me, I couldn't even answer the question. We had to figure it out together, which was taking a lot of time and a lot of mental energy because, of course, we paid for this class. It wasn't cheap, and we want her to succeed and we want her to have that feeling of accomplishment. So I'm not going to say, you figure it out and throw my hands up in the air, you know? So I'm sitting with her at night and side by side doing all this, and it was just demanding. So all that to say, I filled you guys in on a lot there. I knew it was going to be demanding, and it was. So it started off a little bit challenging in that aspect, combined with the fact that for whatever reason, the start of our school year was just a time when I was having to do a lot of disciplining and discipling and honestly issuing consequences for varieties of things. And so combine the behavioral things going on with the stress and demands of all that new, combined with the intensity of emotions that I experience while my kids grow up. And I'm in my last 2 years with my daughter, a part of our daily homeschool, and my own past and things like that come in, you know, with as I look forward to her becoming a young, like, you know, a legal adult and all of that intensity. I'm sure you're getting the picture. It was hard. Around week 5 is when we started to feel like, okay, I started to feel like I could breathe. I started to feel like we were getting a hold on things, and I started to feel better. So I am very grateful to have that rough patch behind us, and I am prayerful that as we enter into quarter 2, all that hard, is behind us now, and we can move into a new quarter with a little more footing and a little bit more, just a little more happy. Like, those days are hard. So that's kind of how the year started. I was super excited. My kids were excited to get back into things. It's in my house, it's not an issue of not wanting to do schoolwork or get their things done. They all really enjoy their schoolwork. They all really enjoy all of the resources that they utilize. It's more of just like typical kid and teenage stuff. So I don't like to talk like individually about struggles and things like that, but I'm sure you can gather, you know, disrespect, interruptions, you know, lack of focus, these kinds of things. So lots of changes. To summarize all of that, I do have bullet points that I'm looking at to keep myself on track. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that I did post a video on how I've changed our morning basket to a morning meeting. If you want to hear more specifically about that and why I did that, then you can watch those videos. But I did make that change in Q1, and it was another hard like milestone to reach, but I recognized that it was necessary. And a lot of you guys sent me really encouraging comments on that, so thank you so much. There was one that really stuck with me and really was like balm to my mom heart as I was letting go of what was formerly Morning Basket in the sense that it was before. Someone sent to me and said that, you know, assessing, and I don't remember exactly how she said it, but she said that putting aside like what I love and what I enjoy to honor my kids' new seasons in their life is like so loving and wonderful that I do that. And I just needed to hear that, and it really touched my heart. So whoever you are, if you see this, thank you for leaving that comment. So we did make that change in Q1, and those videos go into more detail about that and why and all that. For the first time ever, I kind of did a staggered start to things. I usually am like, we do all the things from day one. It's just the way that we work, and we did in comparison to the way that other people would do things, where it's like we started just with read aloud and Bible time, and then the next week we added in language arts, and the week after that we added in math. I can't do that with kids my kids' ages, and it just would not work for our life. But there were a few resources that I had that I held back on just because they were things that I could not like figure out how I was going to implement them while I was trying to navigate all of this new. And those things in particularly were the master books, apologetics course that we only did half of last year, but it should have been counted as a full year. I'm counting it as a full year. But I have the second book, and I want to go through that with my older kids, but I just couldn't figure out how to do that yet. So I am bringing that in Q2. And then my younger two kids, I had Knotgrass from Eden to something like that history course. And then I realized I had the Tuttle Twins history on my shelf, and I've wanted to use that. And honestly, my kids are getting to the point, if I don't use or read that book, they're gonna get too old for it. So I decided we'll read the Tuttle Twins first. So I started with that, and that Tuttle Twins, I'll link it down below for you guys, is amazing, especially if you've recently done a history curriculum that you felt was a little biased. This is like the opposite side of that, and so it's nice to kind of bring about like a different perspective. It is written in story form, and it has pictures, so it's a really gentle introduction to history. So you moms who have younger kids, or who have older kids and younger kids who want to teach history from a story format, this would be wonderful for you. And so we finished up that Tuttle Twins book in Q1. It was a quick read for us. You could obviously go slower or faster, and now I'm passing it on to my friend, but we really enjoyed it. Around week 6, I started to read the Tuttle Twins to them, and then we also started our Knotgrass history with them. And just because I realized like the Tuttle twins wasn't taking up too much time. So, but I kind of waited on that. And so that was something different that I've never done before. So now we are into all of the things. And, but I wanted to share that I did kind of hold back on a few things there. In the first 6 weeks of school, we did 0 field trips. We had no social homeschool official things to attend. Those 6 weeks, and I cannot say how important this is enough. Take that time, you guys. Like, it is so valuable, and every year I am so grateful that there's nothing on my calendar. We're not meeting up in the middle of the day to go over here. We're not doing this. We are getting in a routine. We are getting in a rhythm. We are getting comfortable. We are getting efficient. And every year I see the fruit of that discipline, and this year definitely was the right way to go. But I am looking forward to now having many more homeschooling things on the calendar. If you're a regular viewer, you've seen my friends that we all homeschool, 2 other friends of mine, and so we all offer something different each year for each other. And so one of my friends is doing a hymn study at her house once a month. My other friend is doing like a movie hangout kind of afternoon, just to be intentional with that time. And then I am leading us on nature study this year. So I'm really excited to incorporate those things into our months. We don't do weeks every week because that would be way overwhelming for all of us. Also this year, something new, we are joining our church's homeschool group again. We joined last year and we attended very minimal things. That's what I like about this, is that it's very low obligation. It's more like come to what you can. But I do sense that my children would like to be a little more involved, and I planned the formal last year for all of the high schoolers. I did that particularly for my children, and no one was volunteering to do it. And it was really, really stressful, honestly, and I do not want to do it again. So I am praying that another mom volunteers for that. My kids want to go to that again. And so this year we will probably attend more of the offerings. But I always go into group situations feeling very nervous. And I just can't add that obligation onto my life. And if at any point we feel like we're getting behind, distracted, overwhelmed, me in particular, that will be the first thing that I take off of our schedule. So there's that. My oldest daughter got her first job in Q1, and we have not received a schedule for her yet. It's been a long hiring process, but she became a Red Cross certified lifeguard, and so she had to go and take a swim test and save a dummy from the bottom of a pool and all of that. And so that was a really exciting life moment, and another one of those things that's like the blessing of homeschool, is that she has so much more availability, and she can get a job and work at times other kids can't. And it's just, again, so wonderful that we can accommodate her school schedule and let her take this on because she wants to have a job. She doesn't need one, but she wants to do that. So we were very proud of her for that. Our Fun Fridays continue this homeschool year. Every Friday we are taking a lighter day across the board, even for my older kids. When my daughter was doing her dual enrolled English class, she was structuring her weeks to where she would not do that on Fridays. My youngest 2 kids are not doing their language arts or math, and then all 3 of them do not do Shoreman math on Fridays. So it is a much lighter day. It's just a couple of hours, and we enjoy having that flex day to utilize in the week if we need to, or leave it on Fridays and then do something different. We also finished the Good and the Beautiful's Human Mind Science Unit in Q1, and I want to tell you guys, I think it's one of my favorites that I've ever done. So check that out if you are looking for a really great one. I recommend. I actually had all of my kids, including my high schoolers, do it with me and my youngest kids because the information was just so fascinating and important conversations and all of that, and we loved it. So I really recommend that unit. We also finished our very first Bible study from Not Consumed. I chose the one on navigating friendships, and I really, really loved it, you guys. It was very good for framing friendship in the godly sense. It really caused my teenage kids to evaluate people in their lives and what that looks like. It had a strong emphasis on siblings being above outside friends, which I always think needs to be encouraged. And so I would really recommend that. I'll link that down below for you guys too. We finished that one up, and I am holding off on us starting another Bible study like that, because in quarter 2, I will obviously be incorporating Advent and things like that, because quarter 2 will take us from October until December. Quarter 2 is always my longest, like the quarter that takes the longest, and that's just because we take a lot of time off around the holidays to enjoy and do different things. We have travel planned, and so I don't stress about that. I love it, and so we just take our time. So quarter 2 will take us a while to complete, and that's fine. So we're not going to start another Not Consumed Bible study because of that. We'll be doing some different things for Bible together. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is that every year at the end of the school year, you guys always ask me, what do I use to make my homeschool yearbook that I give my kids on our last day of school? And I use Chatbooks, and that's just the company that's the easiest for me, not sponsored. One of you guys told me, you were like, Ashley, why don't you every month just go and put the pictures in the book, so then at the end of the year, you're not needing to do that? Don't ask me why I never thought of doing that before, but this year I've started doing that, and I'm really, really happy. So I have the Chatbooks app on my phone, and so I have been putting homeschool specific photos into that book every single month while I sit at dance or something like that. And then at the end of the year, it won't take me so long to go through thousands of photos in my camera roll and find homeschooling specific ones. So that is a little tip I wanted to mention in here in case any of you guys want to do that for your kids. Start now so it's not a huge task at the end of the year. So I think that about sums up quarter 1, you guys. We are headed into quarter 2. Like I said, quarter 2 will take us until the first of the year. I have our weeks mapped out. I know when we're taking breaks. I know when we're having time off for travel, and I am really excited about everything that comes in quarter 2. I love this time of year so very much, and I love homeschooling and being home with my kids during this time of year, and I'm just soaking it all in, and I just love it. So that's it for quarter 1. If you guys have any questions, post them down below. Make sure you check out the link to Night Zookeeper. That will be down below for you guys as well. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this chatty update, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye, friends.